steady. I think he's had one 190, but everything else has been 220 or 230. He's been
nice,
rock solid for a young kid.
That's what it takes in these team events.
Definitely, especially the grind today. I mean, it's been a long day, and still got 2 games to go, basically. So.
Right.
So what made you guys make the trip out here? Was it Jeff Carter, was it team bowling, or was it the charity?
A little of both. We used to have a regional down here, so me and the 2 Chads are used to coming down here for regionals, but the team concept was a lot of fun. We missed the team challenges from the old days. So this was a good time. Plus, we haven't bowled with Chris that much. He's new to our team for the Nationals, and good to get to know his game a little bit more.
Right.
He's from Wisconsin, from where we are, so
right.
We've seen a lot, but just to actually get to bowl with him on a team, it's a lot of fun. Team bowling is completely underrated.
It is.
There's not enough of it, but hopefully tournaments like this and maybe a few can pop up here and there.
Right.
With the one in October, like you guys, I think, are running.
So. Oh, did you see that already?
Yeah.
I saw it. I haven't looked at the dates to see what's going on, but it's a good possibility.
I think you guys would
we'd
like
love
the
to have
venue.
you.
Tropicana Lanes.
I want to warn you right now. I make my own patterns.
Yeah.
And I like the scoring pace to be around 205 average to cash, 210 to make match play usually, things like that. But everybody tells me that I put a lot of conditioner on the lanes.
Okay.
So just want to let you know, it doesn't
right.
mean bring charcoal. I'm not saying that, it's the flood of 94 or whatever it was, but
right.
I mean, bring some equipment that's going to put get-back sauce in the bag. and sprinkle it on your ball.
All right.
Dave's still with Brunswick?
Yes, I am.
Yeah, so they've got a great product line right now. As everybody does, but
yeah, we've been really making some good equipment lately. Chad's on DV8 staff.
Right.
That's been doing really well. And Klaus is with the Ebonite family, and then the other 2 guys are free agents right now.
There you go.
So this is the man right here, huh?
That's the legend right there. Did he win Bowler's Journal 2 years ago?
I think it was longer than that because I was there and I haven't bowled for 2 years, so it's probably like 4 or 5 years ago.
Sorry, my time's getting away from me. But he shot like 4 games over 260.
He had the all-time record at that point. I don't know if it.
Okay.
I think somebody might have beat it since then.
So do you guys go out and go out to dinner and stuff together as a group?
Oh yeah.
And go out to bars.
We all got here about 9 o'clock last night. We went to BW Threes and went out and we went to lunch together today. And we'll grab something quick. Although not much is going to be open tonight.
If someone were to pick on someone on the team, who would be the person that would be the first one there up in somebody's face?
Oh, we all pick on each other. Chris
I mean an outsider.
Oh,
an outsider? If you were hanging out in the bar here and some local clown started giving somebody trouble on your team, maybe Klaus or something, who would come to the rescue?
I'm sure the big guy Chad would.
Yeah.
He's pretty big and a little imposing.
You guys ever had a situation where that's come up?
No, we're pretty easygoing guys. They might have in the past when both Chads were drinking together. There might have been a few issues back then, but
well, I've been analyzing your games and I don't think much of it. No, I'm just kidding. I just wanted to see if you'd send them on me. That's all. No, Doug's been talking a lot of good things about you guys. I haven't had a chance to watch you guys compete. I haven't made it out to too many regionals, but a lot of respect for what you've been able to do here.
Heck
and there's no surprise with you guys all being from the Wisconsin area together that bowling a team event, you guys are at the top. And we just wanted to get you in the chat and have a chance to talk to us. We're here all weekend, so if there's some late-breaking news or something going on, you want to come up and give us some coverage, good or bad, you always have a seat available here to talk to us.
Yeah, this is a fun deal, and it's our gig, and so
thanks guys for doing it. I'm sure the people online love the coverage.
Oh,
and,
they do. Yeah, it's fun. So
gives people a little glimpse into what's going on. I mean,
exactly.
It's been a long day, but
you gonna bowl Joe Ingelick's tournament? Fusion Realtors?
I'm already signed up for that.
Yeah, we'll be there streaming that one.
I will probably. I got to check with the wife. I think we have something going on, but I might be there in Dubuque too. In a couple weeks,
man, we'd love to have you there. Right. That's a beautiful venue.
Oh yeah, we had a regional there the last couple of years. I won the last one that was there, but it's a beautiful facility. You've got gambling, you got some good restaurants, and Dubuque's a nice little town.
It is.
Down on the river, it's a pretty town. So.
Well, it looks like it's your turn. Thanks so much, man.
Thanks, Dave.
It's Dave Barris. Team Barris named after him. They've got the lead in this tournament.
Dave's got all the berries. Yeah, they're just they're pretty soft-spoken and quiet off the lanes. But when I'm saying when it comes down to this down here, shoe up time, these guys are rocky. These guys are 5 Rockies down there, or at least 3 of the 5. I don't really know the other 2. This guy right here drinking Mountain Dew is the biggest one. I mean, he's going to be right there in your face. Won't say anything, but in their minds, they are just animals.
Lonnie Walchuk version 2.0 up for you. Bidding for the turkey.
He signed Mike's bowling shoe when the World Team Challenge was at St. Charles Lanes.
Landmark Lanes.
Landmark. Oh, you went up there.
And it wasn't a team challenge. It was actually a PBA event.
I'm sorry.
Regional, but I had respect for him from his World Team Challenges.
And he signed your shoe.
He did.
I remember as a junior bowler bowling with you, I was like, who in the hell signed his shoe? Never knew to this day, so I heard you guys
it was Lonnie.
Lonnie. I'm like, which I don't blame you.
No, I love his game.
Danny Weissman up on 19 there. He changed shirts at the break.
Yeah, he said, you know, it's going to be a little warm. I need a breathe right shirt. No, that's what he's doing.
Went to the Under Armour.
You know, we got to write a story talking about what happened here today, and I haven't been taking any notes.
It's been a lot.
Bowling for Dum Dums wants to know if I got a bunch of bowlers here to commit for the tournament in Dubuque in 2 weeks, which will also be streaming. And the flyers are out like crazy, and I've had a lot of people say we're going to try to make it, we're going to try to make it, we want to make that one, we want to be at that one. But so far we've got more bowlers signed up online, paid, than we've had for any other event ever. So that's a very good sign. It'll be a good event either way. I mean, anytime you can have a tournament that's going to pay back over 100% of all the funds that are raised from entry fees, you're always going to have a good event. I don't care what anybody says.
The Iowans love bowling, and they're right there in that weird spot where they just have to drive no matter where everything's at. They have a drive. They go to Chicago, they got to drive. They go to St. Louis, they got to drive. It's not necessarily long, but it's a drive for us because we're kind of spoiled. We do get some events in St. Louis, and we get some events in Southern Illinois and Central Illinois like this, and our drives are to Chicago, but we don't regularly make stops to Iowa. Iowa regularly makes stops to Chicago and St. Louis, you know. I guess they go over to Nebraska too. Just depends on what side of the state there, but they're in a weird spot. So to bring an event to their area.
There's Goebel, Doug. 7-10 for Brian Goebel.
If there's guys that have a 2-hour drive to this Dubuque event, they'll feel like they might not even get a hotel room. They'll be like, oh, we can drive home from that.
Yeah.
It's not 6 hours.
That'd be like us driving home from here.
We could. We could.
Hour and a half away from home.
But it's fun. I wouldn't necessarily bowl league here. You know, an hour and a half drive.
Yeah, it's a bit of a drive to bowl league.
I mean, you drove home from Columbia and Jeff City this year during the state tournament. That wasn't any fun. That's only, that was an hour and a half, right?
A little over an hour, yeah.
Yeah.
They continue to struggle here on 15 and 16. Aaron Jones is struggling now. This pair is just brutal. Wesley Edwards over there bowling with Wallachek and Danny Wiseman and Bruce Postal and those guys. That's BP's Pro Shop. They're in 13th place. They're just 50 pins out of the top 10 going into the last game. I'm going to go check with good friend Dennis Hacker and see how close we are to score updates. I kind of want to know.
Ready to sit down?
I don't have anything to say. Nobody wants to hear what I have to say.
We don't say anything either.
Just talk. I hear you. You know what you're talking about.
So yeah, we're 3 frames into should be game number 8. Mike's checking on a scoring update. Got Dave Barras up on 17. He just sat down in the booth with us. Big shout out to Dave for taking the time out to give us a shout, give their fans a shout. They're good guys. They're just great bowlers. Can't say enough about over the years bowling with those guys, and best middle games on the block right there. Sit down for a minute, talk, say hi to anybody.
I sent a message, but I'll sit down for a minute. Let me get a beer real quick.
All right. We got another celebrity going to join us, Larry Stepp from the Kansas City area. Is going to sit down and I wouldn't necessarily say talk bowling, so tell him what he's going to tell us. But he wants to sit. You can either wear these guys here or you can just talk. This way you can hear me and hear what all professional. Larry Stepp, ladies and gentlemen, Kansas City guy. How are you guys doing out there? What are you seeing? What's going on? Do you even want to talk bowling? Do you have anything to say?
We're struggling a little bit, but we're trying to make a run at it the last couple of games.
Yeah.
It's been kind of a long day.
It has been a long day. The temperature is above average.
Yeah, the temperature, and we haven't got a whole lot of breaks, and we haven't capitalized on any of the ones we got. So.
All right. What are you in our 13, 14, or are you 11 and 12?
No, we're 11, 12.
11 and 12, just out of the
the
viewing area. So what's new? You getting ready to bowl a lot? Bowl anything?
We bowl quite a bit around town. Try to get out as much as I can, but
yeah,
this is an awesome tournament.
Right.
I would definitely suggest this to anybody. I know Jeff wants to make it a full event every year with a waiting list, and I'm definitely pushing for that because this has been awesome.
Right. The team concept is kind of fallen through the cracks. You know, once you get done with college, you know, if you're a team, you know, it's all team, and you get done with college, and then after the team challenges, you know, and all that, you just don't see it anymore. So
yeah, when the team challenges died, that was what, 10-15 years ago.
Yeah.
Team bowling really took a hard turn, but stuff like this, the lanes not being quite as incredibly difficult as the old team challenges were,
right,
but still challenging. I think it's going to be a really cool thing going forward.
I think it's great for the sport, and it's just fun. It, you know, a lot of these guys, it's not like they get to bowl together every weekend and, you know, buddies, whatnot, and they just use it as a fun time as well. Just like you can, you know, nationals is one time a year, but then where else can you bowl together, you know?
That's exactly right. And I know I've talked to at least one person that said that if he never got to bowl an individual tournament again, and only bowled team and singles or team and doubles, that he would be all excited. And that rings a lot through this place today.
Right. Yep. So it's great to see 27 teams, you know, in the middle of the summer, 135 guys. And some of these guys had some trips. I mean, you had, you know, you're 6 hours away, or
we're right at 5 hours.
We're at 5 hours?
Yeah, and I know there's some guys. I mean, I know Mike Shady's from Erie, Pennsylvania, which is a long haul from here.
Right.
So, yeah, that's a really cool event to see. I've seen a lot of people I haven't seen in a long time since I used to bowl the region. So.
Yeah. Yep, very nice.
Very cool. Well, thanks,
all right,
Doug.
Larry.
I got to go bowl in a minute, but thank you.
Congrats, and keep it up, and thanks for sitting in with us. That was Larry Stepp, Nebraska alum, and one HELL UVA of a bowler. Yeah, like Larry said, there's some guys he hasn't seen, you know, since he was competing regularly on the Midwest region, and, you know, glad to see him out here and still throwing it great, still striking. Mike's back with us. We just had Larry Stepp in the booth with us.
Oh, great.
So, yeah. Getting to touch on the KC area a little bit and what's new with Larry. And it's been a consistent theme throughout everybody I've talked to in and out of the booth, in that team bowling. It's lacking. And
did you promote our event?
He was in between frames. He wasn't even in here. 30 seconds.
All right, yeah, we got to promote.
He knows about our event.
I think everybody does.
Yes.
I'm liking that. I was just down talking with Shannon Pulowski and Adam Barda and all those folks, and this Aaron Rodgers, Chad Roberts lookalike thing is really quite insane. So we started thinking about maybe having a costume party at that tournament where
they don't. He doesn't agree at all, or
no,
whatever?
he doesn't know who he is. He's not a football fan.
Oh,
can you believe that?
But you guys think he looks like him, or doesn't look like him? Oh, I don't think that. Somebody asked me.
No, it's a big debate down there. Everybody thinks for sure. And he's like, is that the football guy?
Trying to figure out what to do with that cucumber.
Oh yeah, they made a Facebook page for the cucumber now. Megan goes, "You want to be our friend with the cucumber?"
Yeah, I do. I became friends with Megan. More so after the women's event, but just tonight. They're just super people. That whole team.
Update on our InsideBowling.com team. Shea Bentonbender, first 6. Brad Miller, spare, 5-bagger. It's getting late here, folks, and it is extremely, extremely warm in here. Our friend Brett Cunningham says, made my first cut today in a regional as a member of Team Motive. Breaks my big slump I was in. Pretty excited. Congratulations, Brett.
Yeah, I must have missed the bus on that motive deal, huh? Maybe we're friends already.
Here it is, right here.
Yeah, we're friends already.
Ouch Barda, add friend. For those of you that are out there listening to the chat, if you want to become friends with Ouch Barda, check it out. I just became friends with Ouch Barda. It's facebook.com/ouch_Barda. You know, Danny Wiseman's in this field, and because he's not wearing the Flames or whatever, it's like we forget about him. But Danny Wiseman is up on lane number 19 here, getting ready to bowl.
We didn't forget about him. We just talked about him. He's wearing an Under Armour shirt.
Yeah, but Danny Wiseman, it's Danny Wiseman, bro. Yeah. Right here.
Thanks.
I mean, I would assume it is. Did you go over the new standings?
Not friends. No.
Standings after 8 games, everybody. Team Barris extends their lead 11:58. Team Wolf 10:44. Turbo 2-1 Grips 8:58. Quite a drop off there. 4th place Solid 9 Pro Shops at 8:36, and 5th Joe Who at 8:24. Now, here's what's interesting: the huge midgets bowled a huge game. 13:25 and vaulted from 250 pins out of the cut to the tie for the last cut number, which is 730 right now with 2 games to go. Unbelievable. And it's gotten really tight. Team TurboTech, Jeff Carter's team, they're just on the outside looking in, just 32 pins behind. Jeff Furr's team, Tommy Jones' team, Danny Wiseman's team, all within striking distance, within 100 pins. Let's go ahead and take a look at Team TurboTech over on lanes 15 and 16. Tom Adcock up on lane 16. You know, Doug, the fans have kind of cleared out here. Pete Weber's big cheering section is gone now, and it's getting late in the evening. It's 10:45. I remember back in the 80s and early 90s, Saturday night's main event, WWF, would be on around this time, and Saturday Night Live, the glory days. And now, here in 2012, it's InsideBowling.com live streams. Doug, I think we should get competitive the next game, and the 8 lanes that come down to our area, you and I should each pick a team and bet a beer
Okay.
on who's going to have the high team. Because our commentary's gotten pretty lax here. We're pretty tired, but
Yeah.
one thing that's different, I think you'll agree, is now here in the booth, there's just so many more moving parts.
Yeah, there's
than what
a ton.
it used to be.
There's
It's,
a ton of moving parts.
Between mixing the cameras, we used to just have one camera, maybe 2, and we wouldn't even switch them. To graphics, to tickers, to updating and helping the tournament staff as part of our streaming services.
We had that box where we clicked the actual clicker
We did.
for the cameras.
And what's so funny is our technology's getting so much better that we can sit here and be like, remember when we had the box? We're like, yeah, a year and a half ago. It was just a year and a half ago.
We have grown pretty fast. Like, I don't even know how to hook anything up anymore.
How about you guys in the chat? How many of you are going to be going to Dubuque, Iowa for the 11thframe.com Open that we're running? You want to see a tournament run without a hitch? Come on up there as I just jinxed it.
I can't believe you just said that.
If we mess up something on that tournament, we're quitting.
That's fine.
Meanwhile, Doug's like, yeah, Bob Hocker and Cherry Lanes, yeah, we need to have the ceiling collapse. I'll pay for the damages.
Yeah. It'll save me money.
No, you don't need to pay now, Bowling for Dum Dums. You can if you want, but love to see you come out.
Yeah, if we just stopped all this, we'd save money.
Oh, we would.
It would be a better business decision to stop this.
Okay, so I'm just going to get it out there right now. We are getting paid $800 to come here and stream this event for the weekend.
This one here?
For me, Doug, and Brian to come to the event. And we're getting a free hotel room. However, we're donating the $800 right back to the Mary Teubner
Right.
Cancer Research Foundation.
Right.
So,
You
yeah.
get 500. We'll give 500 back.
Yeah, we're donating all of it back, all of it. So, now, on the same turn, Jeff has helped us promote our events and everything else, and it's a good little trade-out. But we hope to see a lot of people at our team event where, you know, our events, we don't take lineage from the bowlers anymore at all. And we only did a little bit the first time because we didn't know what we were doing, and we had a lot of expenses, more than we could even think of. But now we take no lineage. We cover lineage. Sometimes we negotiate it for free. Sometimes we have to pay for it. Not going to lie about that. We usually get a sponsor to throw in some bowling balls that we get people to raffle off for us, and we generate another 1,000 to 1,500 maybe.
Oh, the last women's event was nothing.
Right, and then we run brackets, which are totally voluntary for the players to get in, and we do take the bracket. You know, the 1/8 of that. And then we pay our staff with that. We put a little money in the bank account. We pay down some of this $40,000 worth of equipment, and we go do it again, over and over again for hours upon hours. And we always bring in a big enough team, more than we need. And just because in case something messes up, we need people to sit there to be able to fix things quickly. We pay out our brackets usually within 15 minutes after the last ball's thrown in a squad, and that's not an exaggeration. And we double and triple check everything back in the tournament office. The only time we get a little bit slow, I mean like 20, 25 minutes slow, is when we're going to make a cut and people have the decision to go out of town or go home, drive home, or stay in a hotel room. And a lot of times we do take a little extra time on that in case we make the wrong decision, and we never have. So that's kind of how our things work. And that's kind of our philosophy. And hopefully one day, you know, we're attracting $10,000, $20,000 in sponsorship money per event between donations and being able to raffle things and some cash donations and being able to have their logo up in the corner of the stream and everything. And You know, we might get to the point where, you know, we put a little food on our tables and we take 10% of all monies that we are able to go out and get from outside companies. But what marketing company doesn't do that?
Right.
And if you can bowl events and get over 100% payback in our events, we feel like we're doing something good for the bowlers. And if we make a little money off of it one day and we strike gold at a tournament here or there, you know what that's going to do. That's going to motivate us to provide a better product for you. And it's going to motivate us to do cooler things. There are so many little things that we would like to do, like goodie bags with all kinds of cool stuff in it, inside bowling mouse pads, you know, all that kind of stuff. And if we can get things going, we will give it back to the bowlers, no doubt about it. We've got a team tournament October 13th and 14th in St. Louis. We'd really like to see all of you try to make it out to that. $87 viewers. It's getting late. Must be a lot of people. In the chat want us to switch over from Ronnie Horton Nation, over to Barris, Moss, and company. And that's not a problem. We'd also like to hire a producer to sit up here and click all the cameras for you all the time, and all we would have to do is commentate. But we love you guys. We have, I truly mean this, we have the smartest bowling fans on the planet in our chats. They educate us. We learn something every weekend from you guys, and we appreciate it.
So we're 7 frames into game number 8. So we're a game and a half out.
Game 9.
Game 9. We're a game and a half out of the cut here. I'm seeing some guys are getting a little more animated on triples and doubles and getting a break. And, you know, not that anybody's pressing here, but it's go time.
It's being realistic here. I mean, 10th place is 730 over. And 635 over is 15th place. So it's 100 pins separating 10th from 15th. All those teams still have a shot. So our predictions yesterday, Team Barris, we both had making the cut. Team Wolf, we both had making the cut. Turbo 2-1 grips, we both had making the cut. Solid 9 Pro Shops, I did not have making the cut, but you did. Joe Who? What team is that? Oh, that's Brian Goebel, Mark Henninger, Joe Bush, Dallas Baldridge, and Jesse James, who we haven't even talked about much today other than Goebel. So they're doing good. Joe Who is in 5th. Team Shepherd, InsideBowling.com is hanging in there. Shea Bittenbender now front 8 for InsideBowling.com, and Brad Miller working on 290, up in the 8th now.
Mike, I think you might have another job lead on the chat.
What do we got?
Bowling for Dum Dums wants to put you in the ballot for the USBC president, our CEO. That's
now,
quite the compliment.
Although that is an extreme compliment.
Well, hello.
Thank you. That is an extreme compliment. However, that's just not going to work.
Why is that?
Because in order for us to flourish, we have to be in an environment where I can thrive. And I truly believe
that a basement is
that
where you work best.
I can't thrive in a company that's got a ton of red tape.
8 to 5.
I can't do it. Now, with that said, there is a certain company I just recently interviewed with within the bowling industry, and they are the closest thing I've ever found to operating the way I operate. And I was this close, and you can't even see through my 2 fingers as I hold them together.
Barely.
To go in there.
That's a
and I may end up there one
32nd
day,
of an inch.
and I appreciate that opportunity. But right now, the way we work is we surround ourselves with smart people that understand how we think. We understand how they think. We take smart risks.
We do take risks.
Smart ones, though. Usually.
Yeah.
I mean, we have had a telecast where I allowed 2 people that were drunk to sit in a booth and go off on every bowler in the tournament and curse at every one of them. That was a mistake. That was a bad risk. But we get better as we move along. However, here's the deal. If I went into a meeting, if I was the CEO of USBC, and I say, hey, look, our live streaming services, Lucas and everybody, they do a great job. We need to expand that throughout the United States. So I have assembled a list of 37 tournaments in the United States that we need to start covering. These are the ones I picked. What do you guys think? And then they sprinkle in another 20 or 30 that they think of. And then we put together our solid list of 35, and we say we're going to do it. And we need to hire another team to go out and do this and spread the word about bowling. And in addition to going in and doing the live broadcast, you know, Lucas and the team, or whoever the B team would be, or the other team. I hate to go A and B because it makes them sound like one's more special than the other. The U team and the S team, so to speak, and the B team and the C team for USBC.
Right.
They would go into a town and they would promote bowling for a day or two with like maybe a pep rally at a school and get people to come out and, you know, really grow the sport, which is the slogan for USBC. And I could just imagine myself going into this meeting and saying this is the new directive of one of the small channels. I'm just using this as an example.
Right.
And I would imagine by the time I walk out of that meeting, I would have black eyes all over myself. And I'd be like I just got beat down and punched because they'd say, there's not enough money. Haven't you seen that we're declining in the amount of how are we going to pay to get them there? How are we going to do this? How are we going to do that? How are we going to do all these things? And this is by no means a rip on the USBC. It is not. But I like Zappos Shoe Company. If you look at the way they operate, check it out, guys, when you get time. Google search Zappos. They allow you to come to work, wear whatever you want. They set up such a neat environment. Everybody has say in the company, and they just love working there. You can bring your dog to work. You can drink beer at work. And
Right.
they're a very successful company. It's
Right.
a very out-of-the-box company. We are very, very similar to that. If we ever hit it big, we will have PlayStation 3s in our lobby.
Sure.
We will have people that come to work that want to get there early to participate in the morning ping pong contest in the break room.
Right. No,
Or
I'll
in our
have.
lobby.
I'll have.
Yeah. I mean, there will be nights when guys will get kicked out of their house because they got home too late, and they'll just go into work and sleep in one of the bedrooms there.
Right.
Because you always have a place to go.
Right.
So I appreciate that, though. I really, really, really do. I love the work that Jason Overstreet, Pete Treadwell, Matt Lawson, and, of course, the Lucas Wiseman do for Bowl TV. And Lucas spends a lot of time out on the road, you know, covering these events. And then he's got to go back to his hotel room and write a story for the main page and do the press releases and everything. And he does such a tremendous job. And we learn a lot from those guys. And they work with us. But one of the problems I have is, you know, we had this big InsideBowling.com tournament the first year. I got it on Fox, the Fox affiliate in St. Louis, the NBC affiliate in St. Louis. You can check all this out on our IBTV tab up at the top. You'll see Pete Weber bowling on the morning show and everything. I got great publicity out of this, and I asked USBC, I emailed Jean-Marc about being able to put it on the homepage, and Jean-Marc was like, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, this is great. I love what you're doing with this. And Steve Wunderlich said, yeah, I love what you're doing with this. This is great. We'd love to put you on the homepage and write a story about what you're doing. This is a big deal. You got Tom Hess coming. He just won the Masters. The whole 9 yards.
Right.
PJ Haggerty, whatever, all these big names. We streamed it live. Then I got an email back from Jean-Marc, and it totally was not his fault. But he said, I sent this through to my boss, and we can't put it on there. And I said, well, why not? You were, like, jumping for joy about this. He's like, we can't promote any websites on our site, because then everybody would want us to promote their websites. Every tournament director would, and we'd catch hell about it. We only put websites on our homepage that we own or have something to do with. And I email back conveniently, and let's do this as an exercise. Open up a new tab, everybody. Go to bowl.com. If you fire up bowl.com, let's just analyze the page for a minute. And I want you to tell me if they own every one of these websites that they have something on there about. Did the USBC buy YouTube? Did the USBC buy Twitter? Did the USBC buy Facebook? So I sent back, you guys don't own those websites, and they said, well, they're much larger. Well, wait a minute. I'm somebody with a team that's been assembled, that's promoting bowling, that sanctions your events, my events, with your sanctioning, and I don't have to. And I can't get mentioned on here when I'm putting forth this much effort. That's what I'm talking about. The red tape.
Right.
It's ridiculous. I mean, granted, I know I can't have every tournament covered on there. That's fine. But I don't understand why, when you're going through this much work and time and effort to promote the game, that the USBC can't float you a bone, when I know for sure that John Mark was at the TMBA Reed Hawthorne tournament, and it got coverage on the front page of bowl.com, and they do not own the TMBA. But the TMBA's been around longer, I was told, and the TMBA got coverage because they're trying to promote the TMBA more and try to help the TMBA because of what they're doing for bowling. Well, what the hell am I doing, and what the hell is this team we've assembled doing?
Right.
It's ridiculous. So you know what I did? I went to Brian and I said, Brian, I want our homepage to look like bowl.com. I want to be able to write my own stories. I don't need them. I'll put my own story on the front page. So go to InsideBowling.com right now. And Billy Eidsolt's team hired us to come in and stream the Proprietors Cup, and boom, right there. Looks like bowl.com. There's Shannon. There's our story. I don't have a writer that I can pay, so I have to write the stories myself, and I've never taken a journalism class in my life. And I hate writing stories, but I'm doing it. So that's why, although that is a tremendous compliment, and I thank you from the bottom of my heart, my head is going to rest on my pillow better tonight at the hotel, I can't do that. But keep in mind, Lawson, Wiseman, all those guys have given me contacts, and they have helped me behind the scenes on what I do, and that goes a long way with me. So there you go. Sorry about that little rant there, but that's really how I feel about that. So
yeah, I remember going through that.
So here in the chat, we've got some comments about that. Now that I'm caught up on that, the problem is when these people get these jobs, they're afraid to do anything, because in the past, if you took a chance to promote change, if someone didn't agree, you'd be gone in 6 months. That's why nothing gets done. Billy Eisold says, I couldn't get the Proprietors Cup on there. Shannon won almost $16,000, and I got nothing. Took Brian Lewis 9 years plus to allow fresh oil at the Open Championship, 7 years for side tournaments and practice lanes. Yeah, why do you have to go through a process? I don't know how many times I've sat in meetings and places, and I say, hey, I think we should do this, and they go, well, we'll table it for next year. And then I'm the guy that gets looked at with 12 heads when I go, why do we have to table it for next year? It's a good idea for this year.
Right.
Well, it's just we're already changing the way the flyer looks and the way the entry forms are presented, so we don't want to give them too much change in 1 year. Oh, okay. All right. You're right. You're right. So basically you can't move out of your house. You can't buy a new dog. Your kid can't grow up. And you can't get a new car all in the same year. That's too much change.
Right.
No, people look at that and say, hey, did you see Bob's got a new car and they moved into a new house? And you see the kids are getting older. They got iPads now.
Right.
Man, they're living a great life. I don't know. Anyway, back to action.
We are in the ninth frame of the ninth game. And the strikes are coming here on 15 and 16. The Turbo Tech team is turned on a little sauce on the competition here. We've got a 7-bagger and a 5-bagger in the 3-hole. with strikes working for, that would be Jeff and Jason Queen. So these guys are, where are they sitting right now? Inside Bowling is still in 7th as I see the ticker coming across. Huge Midgets is in the cut after their 1,300. Jody Wessner and the gang, they're at 10th. They're the number right now at 87.30. And Turbo Tech is at 86.98. So they are 32 pins behind Wessner and the gang. If you guys would like, I'll go check Wessner's score and see how they're doing.
That'd be great.
And we'll have a pretty good idea on what we're looking at going into this last game.
Sounds good. Well, that's some good stuff there. Anybody got any questions in the chat? Want to get my opinion on anything else? Because I'm ready to get going. I'm ready to rock and roll on some topics. I'm just one of these guys where it's all about no-brainer decisions, in my opinion. There's too much red tape in the bowling industry, you know? And I do want to say that I don't like to rock the boat, really, because I need everybody in the industry to help support what I'm doing, and I'm going to help support what they're doing. And too many people get ripped on that are actually trying to do good. I just think they're misunderstood. And I think that, like, people's communication policies really hurt the game sometimes. And I can tell you right now that that I've spent time with Tom Clark, and I know he's very passionate about bowling, and he's one of the most often criticized people in the sport. And Tom Clark does understand what bowling needs and has a clear vision. But at the same time, the decisions that he makes, which are good, educated decisions and the right ones to make on paper, when they don't work out, the chatter on the internet is like a cancer. I'd like for you guys to do me a favor right now and prove to me that you guys are good people and that you guys really care about our sport and that you're not all a bunch of negative Nancys. I'd like for you to type in here something good that Tom Clark, under his leadership of the PBA, has done that you think is good for the game of bowling. Because I'm tired of hearing the criticisms. Let's talk about that. What do you guys got? Also here in the chat, Dan says, red shirt guy has stood in the way of the pins on the left lane 3 shots in a row when Chad is up. Seriously. You guys are just doomed to watch this team. Okay, so right now, Proprietors Cup said that it was a very, very, very good change for the Tournament of Champions format is back. I would agree with that, Billy. I totally agree with that. Mark McDowell is in the building here. He took 10 years off from the game, got remarried, found a great bride, has a great family, he's a Christian man, and he went and bowled the Senior U.S. Open. And he was so fired up about bowling again. And then just this week, it's announced that the TOC, he is now eligible for it, and he doesn't have to buy a PBA card, so he can continue bowling with his Turbo team at Nationals, because there's already 2 PBA regional players on that team that have cards. That is a great move. Good pickup there, Billy Isold. That's a great change that the PBA has made. Here we go, another one. Tom Clark now has removed the exemption restriction. Open up the fields. I think that's a good move too. Absolutely. Chris Paul is mentioned. In some ways, yes. Having Chris Paul, a major celebrity in a sports world of basketball, whether you're a basketball fan or not, he's very popular. He likes to go bowling. And he gets along with Chris Barnes, which, hey, not everybody does. I'm just kidding. I really like Chris Barnes, and Linda's a sweetheart. But Here we go. Good question from Davey. How are we to know who's responsible for what decisions and ideas? Well, I had a discussion with Tom Clark recently, and we were talking about the formats. Do you know whose idea it was to change the formats of the PBA to the non-stepladder finals and have the elimination rounds? Why don't you chime in the chat? Let me know who you think's idea that was. Kim Mann says, I agree with how you feel, but on a brighter note, I love your guys' coverage. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Bowling for Dum-Dums, come on. You can think of something. I know you can. When we start talking about this stuff, it is kind of like listening to like Republicans versus Democrats, and I'm sorry for that. Here's who was behind the PBA non-stepladder formats. It was the owners of the PBA. They think it's more exciting and more interesting to watch. They're not bowlers, but it was mandated by them, and Tom Clark had to come out of that meeting and promote it like it was something he came up with, because that's what you do. If I go into a meeting with my team and Doug Lakey, who sits in the booth with me, says, Mike, this flyer needs to be orange, and I want it to be green, and we agree to disagree in the meeting and have a healthy relationship, when we walk out that door, we got to have each other's back. He is going to promote that tournament and talk about the green flyer like it's the greatest thing that's ever happened. And if anybody complains about it being green instead of orange, he isn't going to say, well, I told Mike that it should have been orange. You're right. He is not going to say that behind my back. And Tom Clark is doing the same thing. Proprietors Cup has a really good one too, and I'm really, really surprised this didn't get more coverage. The PBA has a new marketing company handling their advertising, and it's a marketing company that's hit a couple of home runs with being able to sign the Nextel Sprint agreement with NASCAR. Same company did that. And hopefully they can hit a home run for bowling. And I think it was great that they did a press release that they're going to be handling it now. And I was surprised to not see more shares online about it. Really kind of surprised me. And Bowling for Dum Dum says, yeah, that's a good thing if it works. And you know what I'd like to say to that? Let's all get in a positive mood tonight. Let's change if to win. Yeah, that's a good thing when it works, because it's going to work. I'm very, very glass half full. Chris Hester's hanging out up here. Do you want to talk to us, Chris?
I can.
Yeah.
We have a little bit of a wait, so I figured I would see what's going. Oh, wait a minute. I thought we had a little bit of a wait. We may be starting soon.
InsideBowling.com, 1165. What Bittenbender shoe? 264 for Bittenbender. So here we are with Chris Hester up here in the booth.
Team's plugging right along.
Your team is?
Yeah, it's every game. I mean, 11:30 with a 190 game, 11:50 with a 2-0 game. And we just 4 guys bowl well, and somebody is always 190-2-0 in it. Usually it's me.
Let's talk about your team. Casey Murphy, 198.
Casey's bowling phenomenal.
216 and 279, 254. Well, he's probably getting in the middle of the lane, isn't he?
Yeah, he tried to play out to start. And they were really over-under out, which was surprising on the short pattern.
And then Wolfie goes opposite, 270, 220, 20, 190.
Now, let me tell you about Wolfie. Game 2, Wolfie's got 2 40s going into the 10th, strikes in the 9th, strike first ball in the 10th, 0 second ball in the 10th. That turns 240 into 220.
Wow.
And then game 3 has 220 going into the 9th, strike in the 9th, strike first ball in the 10th, 0 second ball in the 10th to turn it into 2-0. 2 games in a row, my man goes strike, 0.
Then yourself, 2-0, 240, 2-0, 240.
Which
so
means I'm on pace for 2-0 this game the way I read it.
Right.
That's not good for me.
Yeah.
My team doesn't like that roller coaster.
And then Michael Fagan, who goes by Mike Fagan, that's his nickname, he told us earlier, 244, 247, 216, 221. Very steady.
Yeah, he moved in the last game as well. All my righties are curving it now.
So, Mike, what does he switch to? What is he?
Wolf?
No, Fagan. What ball is he?
Oh, he went to a 505C.
Okay.
The green and yellow one?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was been throwing the red hammer out, and then he moved to the 505C.
Are you still throwing urethane?
I am throwing urethane. I tried to. Sand is playing about the same part of the lane with me with a fast, but I tried one shot with a Cobalt 5 and solid 8. I said I would rather know I can hit it with my urethane ball than think I have to miss it.
Right.
So I'm still throwing that. Keep it in play. I'll 7-pin every 3 balls, which is fine. Just try not to kill my team because they're bowling well.
Well, that's good, man.
They're bowling well.
And tomorrow, Baker, that's where it's at.
Oh, love it. Love Baker's. I love team bowling, period. So, and Baker's is the truest form of team bowling, so it's even better.
Have you recruited a team for our event yet?
Well, it's funny. I assumed I was bowling with Shepard, but I found out he's already asked Mike Kahn to bowl. And I've already told Wolf I don't care what he's doing. As long as he's in town, he's bowling. So I know I'm bowling with Wolf. After that, I'm not sure. But, yeah, we'll be there. That's for sure.
From a promotional standpoint, I'd like to see Shepard bring a team and you bring a team.
We probably will.
We'll
probably do like this. We'll have a team of the mid-30-somethings and then the kid team, the under 30 team. I'm sure that's what we'll end up doing.
Looks like both your teams are going to make it here.
Yeah, they're struggling a little bit this game. They've all jumped in, and honestly, they're missing a lot of spares. It's really hard to watch, but they're still bowling 10-50 every game. So I think they were 5th or something, 4th or 5th. 6th,
Surprised to see Tommy Jones' team struggling so much.
Well, he was worried. We talked to him after the practice session, and he said for 20 minutes of the practice session they were stonewalled. And then after 20 minutes, he was trying to figure out how his team was going to bowl 1,000 because they broke down and hooked so much, and his team has so much rev rate that they feel like they're in jail. I mean, they look like they're bowling pretty good again this game. I think they had 1090 with a bowler to go this game.
They probably need to get so far in and just start lofting.
Right. It actually seemed like most of them were in and just throwing at 100 at the 3-pin.
Okay.
The game we bowled next to him. And Jesse was bowling 290 the game we bowled next to him. Tommy bowled 250.
Okay.
But it's pair to pair. There's some really bad pairs.
Tim from our area is bowling with them. I know he struggled today a bit.
He's had, it looks like he's not as comfortable doing that. His ball wants to read the front part of the lane too quick.
Yeah,
and he just can't push it through there. And when he tries to throw it through there, then it never sees the lane and never hooks.
In order for you guys to win this tournament, who are you going to have to beat?
Well, you would think, Chad Moss's team is running everybody over right now. Steve Harmon's team's 13-20 was kind of impressive, with no doubles in the 10th and an open in the 10th for 13-20.
Yep.
But Klaus's team has pretty much been on top since the start, so you would think they're the team to go to beat. But this is a strong field of bowlers. It's good to see. It's good to see everybody out bowling.
It is. It is a little sad that there's only 27 teams.
Very disappointed in that. Fagan and I were talking about that. Absolutely. There absolutely should have been a waiting list. I was very surprised to hear we only had 27. But, you got to start somewhere, and it's a bunch of good bowlers.
The tournament took in about $10,000 worth of entry fees, and I noticed it's paying out about $15,000.
Wow.
If you add it up. And people don't think about that.
Right, absolutely don't. I had no idea. I haven't even looked at a prize fund. I don't know. I just saw your standings. I didn't know where we were. I'm not paying any attention. I am trying to stay out of my team's way. That's the only thing I'm thinking about.
Yeah, I don't know what I did with my prize fund, but it's like $8,500, $4,100.
Ask Hester what he ate today. Nothing.
Nothing today.
Nothing. I cannot eat with my Crohn's. I cannot eat until we're done.
So tell me this. Why are Cheetos and a Slurpee more attractive than a pair of Stability Strikes that retail for $14?
My socks are cozy. I like Cheetos.
Okay.
I like me some Cheetos.
All right.
What can I say?
I'm on board with that.
I have cozy socks.
It just shows you the nuances of bowling and how the bowlers think. They like the quirky things better than...
Was the guy on TV earlier that had the first 11 and got 0?
He was, and we gave him socks.
Did you? Okay, well, that's good. Okay.
I made him feel better.
Yeah.
Actually, as a matter of fact, Chris, if you want to watch it, if you scroll down, you can watch it.
Oh, he was right next to me.
Yeah, the 11th.
Yeah, that was.
Everybody else can go check it out as well. And it looks like Brian's working on. Are you uploading some videos, Brian? The ones that are in the queue, you probably shouldn't upload all of them because some of them aren't titled. But it does look like that John or Jack Laffey? Jack Laffey's 300 game has now been uploaded down below in your video section.
That was a
capping off that
man.
13-25.
That's a good score. I don't care what you're bowling on, that's a good score.
I'm watching the video right now. It's a really cool video. They let me down there with my iPad.
Oh, really? Good.
Yeah. So there he is working on 1325, and you can watch the video now down below. It's called Untitled, but that's Laffey's 300 and 1325. Whew. This is a pretty cool shot here, Chris, if you take a look at it. Look at him kind of pose it, walks back, boom.
Like that one, huh? Was that the last one?
Yep, that was it right there. There they are, George Branham, the whole crew.
On the approach.
Yeah, that was pretty good. You want your seat back?
No.
Okay.
No.
We're still on rain delays, so.
And here we go right there, 1325.